now listening to INCRadio United Kingdom Satellite Studio.
Welcome to another exciting program of INCRadio United Kingdom Satellite Studio. I am one of your hosts, Sister Kim, and with me is Sister Shenley and Sister CJ.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone tuning in to INC Radio United Kingdom. Hello, Sister Kim and Sister Sen. How are you? I'm so excited.
I know, me too. Well, but before I forget, let me introduce myself. I'm Sister Sally Grace Udina. I'm one of the hosts as well this afternoon. And yes, we're so excited.
Yes, so today we will go straight into it. So we hope everyone is having a wonderful Sunday and thank you for being with us here on INC Radio UK. And for today's program, we will be discussing, of course, our topic, which is maintaining your focus. So we hope that you continue tuning in so that we can share our techniques on how to maintain our focus and we will learn from each other. And also today we will have our CFO in action, CFO Christian Family Organization in action, where we will showcase and discuss about the different activities conducted here, not only in the District of Great Britain, but of course in the district also of Ireland. And we are very excited to show you what our brethren have been up to in this part of the world. Sister Sen, what else?
Yes, so as you've said, we're going to go straight into our topic discussion this afternoon. And we do hope that everybody will enjoy this very timely topic discussion that we have. And I do hope that everybody will take notes and will hopefully will impart some of very practical tips that we have, not only for each other, but for also for all of everyone who's listening and tuning in on INC Radio United Kingdom. And again, the topic discussion that we have is maintaining your focus. So sometimes we deal with too many competing priorities, leading to a vicious cycle of stress and lack of sleep. And when we are in the middle of this unfortunate cycle, maintaining focus can be hard to come by. Focus is a skill that helps you to concentrate on a task. It helps you to shut out distractions and encourage productivity. When you feel focused, you're less likely to have to try as hard to pay attention to the task at hand. Your mind may feel clearer during periods of focus, which can allow you to remain absorbed in what's important to you during that time. Now, again, as we mentioned, we're going to be discussing it amongst ourselves. But please feel free to comment your answers as we go along and ask each other some of the questions that we have for today for our topic discussion. So let's get started, right, sisters? So the first question that we have for all of our panelists today and also for everyone tuning in. So the first question is, what are some of the practices that you do whenever you find yourself losing focus? I'll go to Sister Kim first. Sister Kim.
So, when I lose my focus when I'm doing a task, let's say assignments. So, that's going to be a general thing. When I'm doing assignments and I feel like I'm losing my focus, I take a break. So, though sometimes I take longer breaks than the tasks that I've done, I try to always give myself breaks so that like it's more of a reward that I've done the job. Or and I think it's a reset. It's a good thing to do to reset sometimes. So when you're doing your task and then you lose focus, take a break or do something that you like maybe play your games, eat, have coffee, and
I
then
like
go
the
back to
eating
the
part.
task. Yeah, eating chocolate. Yeah, that's the thing that I take breaks or naps.
Nice.
I like how Sister Kim words it as a reset, because sometimes you don't keep that in mind that we all need a reset kind of pause or reset button sometimes in our lives to just kind of get your mind kind of in the right track. Because if you just keep on going and going throughout the day, yes, you could easily lose focus, and you could easily lose track of time, lose track of whatever you're doing, and just get into a cycle of not fully focusing and just like taking things that you needed to do, but not actually fully focusing on what's required of you. What about you, Sister CJ? I know you have a few that you've mentioned before we went on live during for our program, but what are some of the practices that you do yourself that that you find that you do whenever you find yourself losing focus?
For me, I also like taking breaks. So for me to be able to find for me to be able to accomplish a task. So I actually um what do you call it? Um put it in batches. So for me, I need to finish a certain task at a certain time. But sometimes I can't do it all at once. So I like to take breaks as well. So just to give a little reward for myself, like what Sister Kim said, but also oh, how do I just focus on one thing at a time. I don't like having it all in front of me because then that will give me more, that will give added stress on me. So I feel that if I focus on one thing at a time, I can accomplish tasks better. And when I do lose focus, I just remind myself that yes, I can do it, and remind myself of what I have to do at this time, and just focus on doing those. Yeah, I don't know if I answered that correctly.
No, like yeah, it really makes sense. But also you've mentioned like even before we went on live uh for our program, Sister Kim is saying that the way that you're doing it is completely opposite from her. Sister Kim, would you like to share your system? And like yeah, just so everybody kind of like has a point of view as well of how you do it and Sister TJ does it.
Yeah, in contrast to Sister CJ, you know the way they said that you need to turn off or put away all your distractions? I do the opposite. So I would have a movie on the side or my game like open in front of me. Because if I don't have it, I look for it. So I'd rather have my distractions on hand, just
So you
play.
want more distractions, and that
Yeah,
will
like yeah,
help you
yeah.
focus. That's
As long as you have
very.
it there.
I'm like, huh? How do you do that?
I don't know. It's because I think once I know that my distractions are there, my focus is just like targeted to the task at hand because I know it's playing on the background, so that like sometimes I won't even notice that the movie has finished because I've like what's the word? Just kind of head on with the task at hand.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
so
yes.
then I take a break and I rewatch the movie.
Okay.
If that
Because I
makes
don't like the noise. That's how I am. Like I need to cancel the noise. So we're the complete opposite.
For me, I'm like right in between the two of you.
Oh.
Yeah, it depends. Like for me, like just like Sister Kim has mentioned, I want like for example, if I'm doing kind of like admin things, I'd like something playing in the background. I like I prefer sometimes music, but sometimes when you know you have a streaming platform like whatever music platform you use, that you just scroll and scroll and you can't choose. So sometimes that distracts me altogether. So what I do is I put on kind of a random like movie that I've seen before and have that playing in the background, and then I know what goes on in the movie already, so I could get on and do whatever I needed to do. But sometimes there are tasks that requires just your full attention, no distractions, no nothing, completely kind of like I just need like my like for example, if I'm working on my desk, I
Mhm.
need that desk completely eliminated with any kind of distractions, just whatever I'm using. It could be my laptop, or it could be just like a pile of like paperwork and like pens and stuff, and that's it. No, nothing else, because sometimes you get in the zone and you're just like you just keep like at it. That like once you're distracted by a little bit of noise, a little bit of sound or music, it completely derails you. So I'm like right in the middle.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It depends on the task at hand. And I guess it's the same when you go to gym because I feel like everyone is, in their healthy kind of phase. Everyone's just going gym or jogging.
Mhm.
And I've noticed that everyone seems to have their music on. I'm the opposite. I don't put music on.
In the gym?
How do you do that? I can't.
Exactly. How I don't know. I'll just be like
I don't put
more
any music
cautious of
on.
my
So
surroundings.
I
And
no, I
I need to
I
have a
feel like if
I
you do
motivation.
that
enjoy I enjoy listening to the gym
sound,
ambience. Yeah.
but I feel like sometimes like if I do that, if I like there's one time that I completely forgot about my headphones and my AirPods, then I'm just staring at a person. It's not intentional, but because like your mind is wandering, you fixate on them, like
Mhm.
especially if they're like directly at you, which is like they might take it as you're stalking
Understand?
them or
Yeah.
something. But
That's
yeah.
what makes it fun. Because like everyone is just in their AirPods and then or in their headsets or whatever, and you're just there. You're just listening to them. And I think that's just where I don't know. I'm just an odd one out. I don't put music on because I feel I get distracted when I'm in gym and I have music on. So
Oh.
I think we better get our listeners and our audience involved. Are you team team Kim with the distractions, or team CJ with no distractions, or team me, Sedley, with the right in the middle,
The middle ground. Yes.
middle ground, you know? But yeah, I feel like it all depends on like the task that you need to do,
Mhm.
and then like obviously if there's a timeline involved, and then also like your lifestyle and your personality too. Like for me to answer that question, like whenever I feel like losing track or losing focus on what's needed to be done or asked of me, I try and share what I needed to do to another person to make me accountable. Like, I don't know if like our viewers also do that, and I don't know if you two do that as well, like kind of share it with a friend or a family member that I'm like, oh, I need to do this by this time because it needs to be submitted by this time. So at least if they see me kind of like slacking in the way, they could go like, hey, I
You
thought
gotta
you're
do this. Yeah. Hey, you said you're gonna accomplish this today.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they could keep me on track.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you do that as well, Sister Kim. Do you do that, or like you want to keep it in, keep it in?
on my part, I think I write it down. So I don't tell someone to remind me, but I write it down in a daily journal.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever task it is, or whatever goal I have, I write it down, and then like 10 pages later on, I still haven't achieved that goal, but I wrote it down. So that's kind of how I make myself accountable. I'll be like, that's a month ago. You should really get yourself, you should really get the crack on that. That's
Yeah.
another way of doing it if you'd like. So, because
Yeah, like
I feel like I'm a person with short span of concentration. So maybe that's why the way I keep focus is having my distractions on. Because
Ah, yes, yes. I get you. I get you. Yeah. But with me, I just really want to get I think I like I'm a competitive person. Like I want to get things done. So I can't have distractions. I need to get it done by this time so then I can move on to do another task for that day because I've already written it down and I'm like, okay, I need to get this done today. Otherwise my mom's gonna not gonna be happy if I don't clean the house, that kind of thing. So yeah, I can't have distractions. But sometimes, like what Sister Elora said here, depends on what it is. If it's super boring and easy, she needs to have music on, which I agree. I also agree. And that will then, if you're very like motivated to do something, that will then match your energy. Not just, you're not just focused on the time that you need to accomplish things. It will also match your energy and you're like, oh yes, I'm gonna get it done today.
yeah,
but like I also like how Sister Kim recognizes it within herself, that like she's not the type that like she loses her focus easily. For me, like I could keep the focus, but once I'm distracted, that's me like down the hill. like
Oh
so,
no.
like somebody has to keep me on track. Like it's either it's me kind of snapping back to reality or somebody calling me out, not calling me out, but like just telling me, oi, this needs to be done. But
Just back on your point, Sister Sun. Remember you said you ask someone to, or you tell someone else about a task that you're doing to keep you accountable. I think in the same aspect, it's the same when you give someone a task. For example, you, Sister Sun, give me a task of finishing a paperwork or something like that. Then that would be kind of the same aspect of being held accountable. So once I'm being given such task by someone else, that's when I don't have distractions on because someone's holding me accountable of a task. So it really
yeah.
varies on the task, if the type of how to stay focused or how to keep, yeah, how to sustain your focus and the techniques that you do.
But also, yes, I quite agree with you there. Like when it's a task, like something that you have to focus on because it's a task given to you, it's not as easy to lose track because it's asked of you. But it's if it's just you putting that like it's a task that you have to put on yourself, it's a lot harder because you can push it back, like
Yeah, you're more lenient. Yeah, you're like,
yeah, and
okay.
you're like, I need a break. I need a break. And then you're like, 2 days later, like I haven't done this yet.
A month later.
No,
So it's better than for someone to tell me to do things. It's like,
but
okay.
yeah, no, like it all depends on like the task given to you and like the uh how much kind of do you lose focus easily, or are you the type that kind of get in the zone and stuff like that. Yeah, it's all dependent on your lifestyle, like the task given to you, and like so many other kind of elements play like an important part in like maintaining your focus. But I kind of like how we're like obviously we're all individuals and we kind of have all our own kind of techniques whenever we deal with trying to get back on track when we lose focus. And I do hope our listeners and our viewers keep on like mentioning your own kind of like tips as well, and please do join in on our discussion so we could like share that live, and so that other people can also um, kind of use that in their lives, and maybe it could help them, sharing things like that so that we could kind of put that into practice in our lives and see if it works out.
Yeah, speaking of, I actually saw one comment from brother Stefan Hanrade. He's actually from INC Radio Los Angeles County. Is that the satellite? He says setting alarm for each task also definitely helps too. I do that, but not so much at home when I have to focus on doing chores and whatever, because I can do that fine. But at work, like I have to be more alert, and I have to be reminded to do a couple of things because it's quite busy at work and in the hospital and the ward. So yes, I do that too. Thank you, brother Stefan, for sharing.
I do a mental timer. I don't know if that helps.
I think that's the thing. Yes.
Yeah, I do like the way Sister Kim has mentioned that she does a little like she makes her own list. But for me, like each task has kind of like a timeline. Like for example, by 3 o'clock, this should be done. By but like half three, this should be done. And like for me, because like my line of work, it's so routine that it just flows smoothly. Like sometimes I don't even realize, but there's a system on how I put down my list that I go like I don't realize it up until I was reading back on the list that I've done, that I try and do the hardest things first, and then the easiest. So like my day flows kind of like happy, flows happy, because I'm like, okay, I've
Yes,
done
oh,
this.
definitely.
Yeah, I've done this. Like it's the most challenging task of the day, but somehow I've done it, and then the easiest goes last. So your day kind of flows like, yes, I'm like I feel so accomplished in a way. I don't know if you do that too.
Yes, big task first, but then
Um,
it's more relaxed towards the end of the
I,
day.
I,
Goes the total
um,
opposite.
Or towards the end of the shift, like you have to be, I think I have to do the more harder battles first, and then towards the end of the shift, then it'll be more relaxed, and you're like, okay, you have more time to think if you accomplished everything during the shift, during the day, so then you'd have time to go back. That's me.
I
What about
think
you, Sister Kim?
I think because we're kind of in the same line of work. Well, I'm getting there. I learned, well, not learned, but I've just adapted to kind of just tackle the task as it is, be it easy or difficult. So whatever is necessary, like throughout the day, I just deal with it as it is. Be it if it's easy now and then hard and then another difficult task again. Like I just deal with it rather than skipping. Because if I skip, I'd forget the task that was given to me or that I need to do. So I just take it as it is. I think so far.
Like also like this question is for the both of you because you're in the same industry. Like I know there will be times, and I know like it's probably already happened to the both of you that it's not part of your routine, but it got thrown at you. How do you go back and refocus? Like, do you go like, okay, I'll do what you've asked of me, and then go back to my list or my routine, or do you go to your routine first and then like tackle what was given to you? How do you go about it? I know like Sister Kim will go like okay, so I'll go to Sister Kim first because I'm really interested with what she wants to how she tackles things.
It depends on the urgency of the task being asked of. If my task is more urgent than the task being asked of me, I would do my task first. So it depends really on the urgency and what time, and if it's reasonably like enough time for me to finish that task. So I always ask if they give me a certain task to do. I would ask them, when do you need it done? When's the deadline? Because once I know the deadline, I can then give an answer of whether I can take on this task or not. So anytime someone asks me to do something for them, the first line of answer I would have is, when's the deadline? So that's why I've adapted in my years of studies to just ask when's the deadline, or even if it's a task at work, when do you need it by? So it really is depending on urgency.
I agree with her.
Yeah, like
Yes, I
it's
agree
also
with her.
mm,
And it depends if it's, like if it's urgent, or if it's important. If it can be, if it can wait, then it is gonna have to wait. So yeah, I don't think I have anything to add to that, but I do agree with Sister Kim. It depends on the urgency of, or
Or
it, or
I
I
like
mean,
how both of you went like or
or
at the same time.
okay, so
or
proceed, please.
if I can do it right away, I would. Like if someone else, say at work, if someone else needs my help and my task is easier than theirs, then yes, I will go and help. But if,
Or
or someone
or
else can do it.
yeah, or it depends on, because people, you do know people when you work with them for a while. If they're just asking for you to do an extra of their job. So
Yeah.
know
Time
your limits.
management, people, time management.
Know your limits too, because you might be just taking on a job that that person is supposed to do anyways. So know your limits.
Yes.
I like how you put it together as like setting limits and boundaries. But have you ever encountered like especially on your line of work for the both of you that it's like an urgent thing like life and death situation that it just so happened there and then how do you reel yourself back in and focus on what you routinely do uh, every day? Is there like, do you have a go-to kind of practice or kind of way of doing things? Or you, maybe you could share like something that happened at work that kind of felt just like that, like it, you had to face a life and death situation at work, and then it derailed you obviously on focusing on what you needed to do. How do you snap back to yeah.
I guess in my one, what happened was we were doing the rounds where the nurses are giving medication, and then one of the patient was unresponsive, but the vital signs, or like, the blood pressure, oxygen, and everything was okay, but it still needed attention because the person, the individual, was unresponsive. So what we normally do, well, you inform the nurse in charge, and then what's the word, Sister CJ? Metcall? Is that right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Metcall. So Metcall is where everyone comes in, right, Sister CJ? Who comes in? All the doctors and everyone involved, basically. Metcall, right?
A rapid response call.
Is that you call it rapid in yours?
Yeah.
Is it, we call it Met? I think
Okay.
yes.
Whale sending then. Okay.
Not too sure, but what that's what the nurse said. She did a
She put out a
medical.
call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she put on a call, and everyone came in, but we were in the middle of a medication round, meaning in the morning those medications needs to be given to all of the patients. So after all of that commotion, once the call has been done and we've done all our part, we had to continue again with the medication. So it kind of just continue where you left off, because they're both important tasks in the day.
Yeah, and that's quite difficult actually, especially for those who work in the medical field. Like you're faced with this kind of situation while you were doing something else. And then it's like you have to go back again to what you were doing. For me, I think so. For example, if I'm faced with that, I would usually, if it's very, very stressful or it's very like it gets too much, I go out. I go out for 5 minutes, have a breather, and have some fresh air, and then just like have a drink, and you're like okay, and then go back in. That's how I do it. That's how my colleagues do it too. Like we take in turns to go on, have a 5-minute break, and just be like, okay, I need to do this now after what just happened, and then just continue. It is quite. It's a it's a rewarding job, but you're like, it's a
And
superpower, I would say.
that's why like I truly admire all of everyone working in the healthcare industry, especially when you're the first hand responders, or you're like there right next to I don't know, like terms could be different, could be a patient or it could be a resident or it could be, but it's when you're there, you're the first ones to deal with the situation. I truly admire how healthcare workers do it, because it's the only like it's the job that a life is at stake, like it truly is. And yeah, and I don't know how you all do it, but like whenever it's done, it's such a inspiring and admirable thing. Because for me, like still like I do also work in the healthcare industry, but like not like obviously not dealing with the patients or anything, but
Yeah,
it's
so how do you do it? How about you, Sister Sen? We'll give the question back to you. Like how do you say, yeah, when you're losing focus or when you're faced with a hard situation. I don't know what hard situation is in the work that you do. How do you then reel back into being focused again? If
like it takes practice. It really does take practice, because like for example, when I was just getting into like the healthcare industry, coming from a more restaurant background, like dealing with emergency situations firsthand could be jarring at times, because you don't know what to do. And when you're just there and then and you have to respond to it, like the adrenaline kicks in. You have to act on it because there's no one else around you, and like there's something that needs to be done right there and then, so you have to.
Because you're just by yourself. Yeah. So I was
Yeah,
I was the complete opposite. So we work as a team and you on your own.
yeah, you have to deal with it there and then. But yeah, as I've said, it takes practice. And I also do the same thing that you do. Like if something has to be done and it's an emergency situation, and like, you know, it's shocking, but you have to deal with it. And then when it's done and like everything is resolved and stuff like that, I also do take a minute breather. Could be going outside, getting some fresh air, or a 5 minute get a drink of water, because sometimes like your body needs that. It needs to take a pause, because
Definitely.
yeah, because like obviously emergency situations, you have to, like, the adrenaline is pumping, and you have to settle back and do like calm like yourself, and also so you could slowly ease back into whatever needs to be done for that day. Because you can't accomplish a task when adrenaline is still pumping and you're on like survival mode. Like I feel like sometimes that happens. So like I take a 5 minute breather, pause, so I could settle back into kind of a more simpler mood, calm mood, and then yeah, do what needs to be accomplished, or what needs to be done. So we'll go. I know we've already answered a few things already, but I'm gonna say our next question anyway. So our second question is: when you have a task to accomplish, how do you sustain your productivity and concentration? I know we've already said a few things already, but have you ever look at a certain person or a certain colleague that you know that you truly admire, and then you kind of took on their style of refocusing, or focusing their attention when they're doing something? Anyone want to go first?
For me, it's more of the efficiency on how they do their task. Because I've because the way my concentration is, it's short, and so my breaks and my task is like staggered into like bite size. So it's the efficiency so of how they do things. So I think that's why how I view it, Sister Sense. Like if example they do, let's say how they do their medication rounds, like they would have all of their medicine already on hand, then it's quicker. But some of them would go around to the rooms and get the medication as they're handing it. So I think it's how efficient they do their task is how I would copy things to make things easier for me. But with concentration wise, yeah, it's short and staggered bite size for me.
Like for me before, it used to be like that too. But yeah, like I once I'm in the zone for that short period of time, I'm like, okay, I'm in my like go and get it done kind of mood. So let's get it done now. And then so once that like mood passes, then I'm like, okay, so let's just completely take a break. And then when another round of feeling all energetic comes around again, okay, let's all get this done. Like I don't know if that like that kind of happens to you, to the both of you.
I'm like that. I think I can agree. I agree with that. So I don't know what else to.
Actually, there's a comment from brother Stephen. Also, he commented in the comment section: in the tech industry, especially dealing with time constraints, I count 1 to 100, which helps me calm myself down and stretch just to relax. Yeah,
Oh
I
wow, yeah.
yeah, like people do countdowns and like breathing exercises.
Yeah, because we all work differently. Like for me, I wouldn't have time to count to 1 to 100. So probably 1 to 10, brother Stefan. But yeah, it all depends on where you work, like what he said, tech industry, then medical field, health industry. So, how do I sustain productivity? I don't know how to answer that question. I'm still thinking in my head.
Have you
Ah.
ever like look at a person that you know and truly admire how like their work ethic is, and how like kind of from your point of view it kind of looks like it's easy, but they completely they were that they told you completely that no, it's actually, it takes time, it takes practice and stuff. Like, anybody know of anyone, or maybe you want to shout them out while live on air?
I can't think of anybody.
Wait, before the live program, you mentioned your brothers.
Oh yes, yes. Oh no, like one of my brothers. They all
Just one.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
like just
one,
one.
because they're all different. I think I would take I would give brother Ken, because he's very when he wants something done, he gets it done. And the way he does it is, he's just, I don't know, like he has like music on, so he has to have like classical music on. And same as sister Kim, he has two monitors in front of him. One is playing something and one is his actual work. So yeah, so I like what I said, I don't, it's kind of bizarre to me how maybe one eye is like watching the other one, and then the other is focused on, I don't know how people do it, you see, but he gets it done. And he was very productive.
It's like
And
when
it's
you
just,
drive.
I guess, yes, okay,
Mhm.
yes, I get that.
Yeah, I kind of get
I
that
get that
too.
point, yeah.
I
But
actually I have a comment from Sister Elora. Hi, Sister
yes,
Elora.
yes, yes.
I just see
What
this,
did
and
you say?
actually, this is a practice that I've done when I was in college and university. So she said, my focus stamina is very low. So when I try to work with my very hardworking friends, I can't match their energy. So I took inspiration from them and what what works for me. That I did that too. Yeah, when I was still in university and college. Like, sometimes you need the vibe of other people to sustain you, I guess.
Oh yes, yes, you have to be around hardworking people to work hard.
That's true. That's true. I actually agree.
Yeah,
They,
yeah,
they, they guilt you. They guilt you. No, but they inspire you. They really do. They really do.
They force
And
you to do better as well because they're not gonna say it, but their work shows it.
mm,
You
yes.
kind of you feel competitive as well. It's like, yeah, yeah, she can do it, I can do it too. That's the mindset I think that I have as well. If she
Yeah.
can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah. And I admire those people who actually like it's very, I know we're all different, and we all our limits, it's different from other people. But like I like how some people are still like happy when they're stressed. Like they're very patient with their patients and with themselves. They just get on with it. I'm trying to like do that. I'm trying to copy that. Just get on with the task. And if you're struggling, you can always ask for help. But I'd like to be someone who just go to work and then just get it done, and then you're just happy in the end. And I'm still trying to learn how to be more productive, and yeah, being able to concentrate.
Because the more stressed you are, the less productive you are.
Yes,
So I
yes.
guess with things that you don't have control with, I think those are like tasks that you kind of just have to ask a friend or leave it until you're ready. Because everything has, time. You have time. And I feel like sometimes we pressure ourselves to
Mhm,
finishing the task
mhm.
just because we've like it's been taught to us that once you're given a task you have to finish it. It's the same with food. If you eat the food you have to finish it, kind of thing. But there are things that sometimes you need someone to help you with, or sometimes it just has to wait a little longer. But that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like what Sister said earlier during the before the show, she said, when it comes to practice of maintaining focus, it's not one size fits all. So it's different with everybody. So
yeah,
yeah.
actually, yeah. It's not like that's why we have INC Radio United Kingdom because it's our platform to share our own ways or our own practices, so our listeners, our audiences could maybe pick and choose from what we're already using in our own lives and maybe put that into practice in their own lives and just pick and choose, because you don't know what is going to work for you unless you try it out, right?
Exactly, exactly. And one technique might not be suitable or might not work with someone else. So you
Mhm.
just gotta, like what Sister Elora said, you just gotta do what works for you.
And also, like before we just finish off with our topic discussion, I'd also like to point out that whoever we surround ourselves with also play an important part in us focusing or maintaining our focus. So our friends, our family, our loved ones play a key role in our way of maintaining our focus, as so many of our INC radio crew has already mentioned their friends inspire them. They inspire them to refocus on whatever their task is, and inspire them to do what needs to be done. But if you have people that surround you that could easily distract you, or even put more things that distract you, then it's not it shouldn't be, you shouldn't be surrounding yourself with those type of people. But yeah, that brings us to the end of our topic discussion. We do hope that you've enjoyed that part of our program. And let me just quickly read our ending bit for our topic discussion. You can improve your focus with time and practice, as we mentioned. It's a bit like building a muscle. The more you work on it, the stronger it gets. It might take some time, and you'll probably have to remind yourself to keep at it. But with practice, you're likely to see a difference in how well you can concentrate. As members of the Church of Christ, we should always remember to consult and pray to our Almighty God to help provide us with the concentration we need, especially for the things that we need to accomplish in our own personal lives, but most especially for our duties inside the Church of Christ. And yes, that brings us to the end of our segment, right, Sister CJ?
Yes, and before we close off the program today, which is I wanted more time, but yes, we will go to a station break, a quick station break, where we will play promo videos from the other satellite studios. Take it away, Kietek.
You are listening to Iglesia ni Cristo Radio, the voice of truth.
Have you ever woken up to the sound of your phone and started scrolling through your social media accounts before realizing that you've been doing it for more than 30 minutes? Mindless scrolling continues on while you're waiting for the train or even while you're in a queue at the supermarket. Do you ever step back and realize that you spend so many hours on your phone but barely accomplish anything? Tune in to INC Radio Italy North Satellite Studio and let's discuss together how we can all overcome mindless scrolling and become more productive when we are using our phones. See you this Sunday, July 7th at 7 p.m. Central European Summer Time. Subscribe to the official YouTube account of INC Radio DZM954.
Hello and welcome back to INCRadio United Kingdom Satellite Studio. So I am one of your hosts, Sister Kim, and with me is Sister CJ and Sister Sandy. Our topic of discussion today was maintaining focus. If you missed all of that, just rewatch us, or after this, rewatch us again. So we're moving on now to our CFO.
In action segment.
Instant.
Woohoo! And for those who are new, and only listening to INC Radio United Kingdom just now, CFO in Action, or Christian Family Organization in Action, are the activities that we've done in this part of the world, and we would like to share them to you through a report. So the first one that will be shown to you on your screens in a few moments is the North Shields neighborhood appreciation day, and it was conducted in their own place of worship. And you'll be as you could see on your screens right now, so many of our brothers and sisters in the church, um, from the local congregation of North Shields, Port Leash.
Port Leash.
I was like, what? Conducted this activity where they brought along with them their guests from the neighboring areas of the local congregation, and introduced the church with them through a small program where they showcase also some of the local congregations all throughout Great Britain through photos and other activities that they had. I think they also had kind of like a health check um, during that day, and also a few segments where they also help in um, uh, putting together your CV, and also LinkedIn assistance for jobs. And I know there's so many local congregations that are conducting something like this right now, right? Sister Kim and Sister CJ, right?
Yes, very much. And we are very excited for the INC giving projects and activities being held around the districts of Great Britain and Ireland. And hopefully, we will be showcasing some of those in the next um, show or next program. Yes.
Yes, and also we would like to say hello to all of our brothers and sisters from North Shields.
Yes.
And hopefully
Let's
you've
also do a
seen
shout
yourself
out.
in the photos. And yes,
Hello, Brother John Lloyd Bautista.
yes,
Oh,
Brother John Lloyd just
Brother
there in one of the photos. Hello, Brother John Lloyd, and also to all of our brothers and sisters who were there in the photos. So, yes, and that brings us to another activity that we have, right? Sister CJ, what is the next activity that we have?
Yes, so we had the Great Britain Tagisa ng Talino activity, and this was held in, oh, it's a video. This was held in Manchester, which is in the northern part of the district of the UK. And this is where I think it was the Pasugo quiz, where the brothers and sisters from all over the district of Great Britain um, had a friendly competition um, with their different. There were different categories, I believe, during this activity, where the CWS or the Children's Worship Service were also included. Oh no, this was the one with their families. So with the parents and the Kadiwas, those who are not married yet, the Binhis, those who were 12 and above baptized, and the CWS. And the winners, they will be, I believe, they will be representing the district in the international Pasugo quiz, which is another activity under Christian Family Organization. Congratulations to those who won during
Shout
the
out to
activity.
Sister Rani and Brother Justin for winning.
There you go. So someone from Sister Kim's area.
Yes,
Congratulations, brethren.
congratulations. Yes, and it's so nice to see so many of our brethren taking part in activities like this. And we know that this is an international level activity, and we can't wait to see all of our representatives from the different districts. And you'll see, we hopefully we will bring that to you soon, with photos and the representatives of each district. And again, we would like to congratulate all of the winners already, because they're representing their district, and we can't wait to see all of them competing in a friendly competition, right? It's just so nice to see. And also while maintaining our unity with all of the activities launched by the church administration. And that brings us to our last and final activity that we have, which comes from our side of things here in the District of Ireland, and it's the oath taking of new officers in the District of Ireland. Sister Kim, I know you could give us a little bit of input about this activity.
So this is the District of Ireland new officers oath taking activity where a lot of brethren has taken oath to receive new offices inside the church. Um, Here we can see Brother Pepito leading the worship service before the oath taking, and we can see here brethren taking their oath in different. Is it simultaneous, Sister San? Simultaneously?
Yes. Yes, it's simultaneously done. The main site is in the local congregation of Belfast, and our district supervising minister, Brother Pepito Acosta, led the worship service or the special gathering in the local congregation of Dublin, and they were connected online, and so many of the new officers took oath and were so happy. And again, congratulations to all of them, and because they continue to help the church administration and looking after the spiritual needs of our brethren all around the District of Ireland. And again, congratulations to all those who took oath. And I would like to say hello to all those seen in the photos. I can't mention you one by one, but you know yourselves.
Oh,
But
hello to our brethren in Ireland. We miss you all. We
please
hope that
come visit us.
yes, we hope that we get to have inter-district activities soon. Yes.
And yes, that brings us to the end of our CFO in Action segment. And also, that brings us to the end of our program. But we know, Sister CJ, that we need to firstly greet.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that brings us to the end of our program today, and we hope that you were able to learn something from us and from everyone who commented on the show. And we couldn't read all of them, but thank you, brethren, for joining us on this wonderful Sunday. And we hope that you continue to support INC Radio UK. Also, yes, let's all maintain our focus so that we are able to do the tasks at hand and also to fulfill our duties. But before we end our program today, we first would like to greet our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manolo, our Christian Family Organization Coordinator, and yes, Coordinator Brother Angelo Aranyo V. Manalo. And we would also like to greet our district supervising ministers of Great Britain, Brother Harley Alcantara and Brother Pepito Aquesta from the District of Ireland, and also the rest of the ministers and workers in the District of Great Britain and Ireland. I was able to see Brother Seth Hebrew and Sister Christina Hebrew earlier from Battersea. And I wasn't able to see anyone else, but we also had a lot of brethren from all over the world, from Australia, from Northeast California, from Los Angeles County. Thank you so much, brethren. And we also would like to tune into your satellite studio when we can. Sister San and Sister Kim.
Sister Kurt, I know you have somebody to shout out. Please do so quickly.
So I'm just gonna read this
Ooh.
from Flint and from Liverpool. Happy viewing po from the local of Liverpool. Greetings po to Villanueva, Tabiraras, Apasionados, mostly Punos, and to our resident minister, Brother Nate Kananan. I also like to shout out my mom, my dad, my sister, Brother Nelita Bariso Jr., and to everyone who's watching in IC Radio right
Oh,
now.
can I do my shout out now? Hello
Yes.
to everyone in Cardiff, Wales, and a few of them also commented on the show today. Hello, everyone from Cardiff, Wales, and also from Newport, Wales, because that was my former locale. Everyone in Wales, hello, and hello. Shout out to my siblings, my parents, and to everyone else on INC Radio UK, and to everyone around the world. Advance happy 110th anniversary.
Yes, exactly. Advance happy 110th anniversary to everyone, to all of our brothers and sisters. And that brings us to a close to the end of our program. And again, we do hope that you've enjoyed INT Radio United Kingdom Satellite Studio and you took in all of the many tips and tricks that we had all throughout our program. And that brings us to the end of our show. And yes, happy Sunday, everyone, and bye.
Bye.